ShinyHunters just hit the world's largest dating empire, and your swipe history might be up for sale. On January 27th, the notorious cybercrime group posted claims on breach forums they'd stolen 10 million records from Match Group. That's the Dallas-based company that owns Tinder, Hinge, OkCupid, Match.com, and plenty of fish. Basically, if you've ever been single and had a smartphone, your data might be in this leak. The exposed information includes user IDs, transaction details, IP addresses, geographic location, and dating profile information. According to some sources, the attackers also grabbed hundreds of internal corporate documents and employee emails. ShinyHunters claims that this breach originated from Appsflyer, a mobile marketing analytics platform, which means this was a supply chain attack. So they didn't hit Match Group servers directly, they compromised a third-party vendor instead. Now, Match Group has responded with the standard boilerplate. They acted quickly to terminate the unauthorized access. There's no indication that user login credentials, financial information, or private communications were accessed, which goes against what the ShinyHunters said. Anyways, they believe that this incident affects a limited amount of user data. Limited amount. They're claiming 10 million records is limited, okay? The 1.7 gigabyte compressed dump tells a totally different story. By the way, this is also the same ShinyHunters that I've been talking a lot about recently. They're the group behind the recent breaches at Crunchbase, Betterment, and SoundCloud. They've been using voice phishing to steal Okta single sign-on credentials, and they publicly stated there are a lot more victims coming. Now, researchers found that while passwords weren't in the sample data, authentication tokens were, which means attackers may be able to bypass login. So, if you use any Match Group app, log out and reset your credentials immediately and enable two-factor authentication. And maybe, reconsider sharing data with a company that considers 10 million exposed records a limited incident. Next up, China's Mustang Panda hacking group just proved that even cyber espionage tools get software updates. Threat hunters caught the group deploying an upgraded version of their CoolClient backdoor, and this time the threat actors aren't just observing, they're actively stealing. The updated malware now includes 3 variants of browser credential stealers. Variant A targets Chrome, variant B goes after Edge, and variant C just says why choose and steals from any Chromium-based browser it can find. It also is monitoring the clipboard because, if you think about it, people are constantly pasting just super valuable stuff like usernames, passwords, cryptocurrency addresses, private keys, and all sorts of other goodies. Yeah, the clipboard is a goldmine for attackers to monitor. Anyways, Mustang Panda has been deploying this toolset against government entities across Myanmar, Mongolia, Malaysia, Russia, and Pakistan. They're using it as a secondary backdoor alongside their usual favorites like PlugX and Luminous Moth. And here's the part that should make your security team nervous. They're distributing this malware through signed software from Sangfor, a Chinese cybersecurity company. You heard that right. Cybersecurity software delivering malware. And the irony of a Chinese cybersecurity company is not lost on me either. Anyways, once installed, CoolClient collects the usual reconnaissance data. Computer name, operating system, RAM, network info, that's sort of standard threat actor shopping list stuff. But the new feature that they're using is exfiltrating your stolen credentials and documents as well. And they're doing this by hard-coding the API tokens for Google Drive and Pixeldrain, public cloud services for that data exfiltration. Because why build your own command and control infrastructure when Google can host all that stolen data for free? And it's much more difficult to detect this malicious traffic in the midst of legitimate traffic. All right, this one ought to rile up the trolls, folks. We got a major privacy and an OPSEC shitstorm on our hands here. Multiple reports are saying a site called ICE is hosting information tied to thousands of DHS employees, including ICE and Border Patrol. One report cites a claim that a whistleblower provided data on about 4,500 people, and that data set includes sensitive details like names, email addresses, phone numbers, and job-related information. Now, at the same time, coverage also points out that a lot of this information appears to be built from scraping public sources, specifically LinkedIn profiles, which I guess is a reminder that you can basically dox yourself without realizing it. So, now the impact. Even if some of this data was already public, centralizing it makes targeting that much easier. It will drive harassment. It will drive phishing and further doxing attempts. So with that said, some social media platforms like Meta have started blocking links to their site across all their networks, citing policies around sharing personal information. I guess the takeaway here is, folks, that if you work in a sensitive role, treat your public footprint like it's an attack surface, because it is an attack surface. So with that said, that's all for today's stories. This is Andy Thompson signing off.